name's McLaughlin and I'm a technical program manager focused on engineering insights for a sports entertainment company. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I came to be in the role that I'm in today. And that journey really starts when I was at high school. I had two subjects that I really enjoyed at high school, and those were English and computing. Those were the subjects that I excelled at. And I made the decision during my 5th year that I didn't want to stay at school, I didn't want to do a 6th year, and I wanted to go on to university. So at the time, when I was applying for university, I was 15, and I knew I'd be joining university at 16. And I was a wee bit nervous about biting off more than I could chew. And I guess I seen English a little bit as a safety blanket. I was a wee bit more nervous about taking a computing course. I can't really explain why, but that's how I felt. So at that time, I thought my best chance of successfully completing my degree would be to choose English. So that's what I applied for. So I done a joint honours degree in English literature and philosophy. And in my 3rd year, I had the opportunity to do a course that was offered through the English language department, actually, on using computers for linguistic analysis. So it was about feeding books into a computer and then using the computer to pull out patterns in that book, identify themes, how words were used in it, that sort of thing. And that just blew me away, because here was this subject that I'd been looking for 3 years, this subject that was English and computing together. And that was a real turning point for me. And I actually ended up getting a part-time job at the university, helping them with one of their projects that was this kind of work. When I ultimately graduated, it was at the height of the financial crash, showing my age there. And so there weren't a huge amount of graduate jobs available, particularly for someone who had an English literature degree, which is not seen as a particularly useful degree for going straight into a career. So I continued with my 20 hours a week at my part-time job at the university, and I became very good friends with some of the university lecturers there. And one of them mentioned to me that it was possible to do a 1-year postgraduate master's in information technology, and that I would be a possible candidate for it because I already had my undergraduate English degree. And they really encouraged me to go for it, helped me to apply, wrote me a reference. And so I applied and I completed my 1-year master's in information technology, which included things like software engineering, project management, Java coding, all of that sort of thing, networking. And from there, I then applied for graduate roles. And I'd actually applied for a graduate post with a telecommunications company. But when I went to do the job interview, they said, we've got a role open that you might actually have the skill sets for. It's this role called business analyst, and you would be perfectly suited for it. Don't join the graduate scheme, come and join as a direct hire. I didn't really know what a business analyst was. They kind of had to explain it to me. And they were really great. They said that they would help me go through some training in that area. They had a team set up who would help and mentor me. And so I took that opportunity, and it was a brilliant opportunity that was afforded me. After a couple of years in that job, it was quite a sizable commute, so I had to make the decision to then change. So I actually went and done an engineering job, a coding job, for a couple of years, and realised fairly quickly within that 2 years that was not for me. I was far more suited to the business analyst role, which I'd left. So I then made it a point that I was going to try and get back into business analysis, and I completed the training that I'd started in the previous firm, but I just self-funded myself through that training. And I then was able to apply for business analyst jobs. Since then, I've done a number of different business analyst jobs, and in my current company, I was originally hired as a business analyst, and I've done that for a couple of years. When this new job of technical program manager, which yet again, I'd never experienced before in a previous company, came to light, and here was this role that involved computers, it involved communication, it now involved the new things that I was interested in, like how teams work together and how we can use data to drive our decisions. And so I applied for that role and I was successful. So I've been a technical program manager only for a few months, but it's really exciting. So I've done various roles in engineering, as you can see. I've done business analysis, I've been an engineer, I've done specific roles within that, which are called Scrum Master and Product Owner. I was an analyst again, and now I'm a technical program manager. So a little bit more about me. What drives me is that I like seeing results from the work I do. I don't need to change the world, but I like to feel like I've unblocked things, that I'm moving forward, that I'm helping people to progress, and that I'm contributing to a team. And the best thing about my job is that I can see tangible results. I can provide people with data, and I can see the teams refining the way they're working based on the information I've provided, and can see those improvements. If I had to give some advice to my younger self, my first thing would be to have a bit more faith in myself. If I had applied for computing straight out of school, my career might have went in a different direction, but also I might have been 2 years further up the line than I currently am. And I think it was just lacking the confidence to go for that. And then the second thing is, don't assume that your teachers or the people you reach out to know every possible career option there is out there. They're teachers, they are not career advisors. And so whilst they have a lot of worldly experience, they can't tell you every possible permutation of these kind of jobs. So if someone tells you pick one, when you enjoy two very disparate things like English and computing, don't assume that there isn't a job that uses both those skill sets. Go and try and do some research, find out about it. Do exactly what you're doing just now. Speak to people who work in those industries and see if there's a job within the industry you're interested in that uses both those skill sets. Because there's lots of jobs that use technical skills and soft skills and practical skills and problem solving skills, but in various combinations of those things. So it may seem obvious, but yeah, have a look around. Don't just take everybody's word for it that they know. And then the best advice I ever received was really from the staff at the English language department, who encouraged me to go and do my master's course in information technology. The support I received from them at the university made such a difference and really drove me to do that. So that was the best advice I ever got. And then my final thought about working in STEM is just that nothing needs to be set in stone. Decisions you make about your job and career at 16 do not need to define the next 50 years. You can make decisions and then use what you've learned as a stepping stone to your next challenge. In technology in particular, there's such a variety of roles. You can often find opportunities to change and adapt and learn even within the same organisation like I've done. So without even changing company, you can change roles internally quite often. So that's a massively great thing about STEM. There's just so much opportunity. But thank you very much for listening to my journey in STEM. Thanks very much. Bye.